Have you ever wondered how a Stoic woman lives, loves, and faces life's challenges? Let's explore how Stoic philosophy manifests in a woman who embraces wisdom, virtue, and resilience in all areas of her life. What does it mean to be Stoic in the modern world? In a landscape filled with constant demands, social pressures, and daily challenges, the woman who adopts the principles of Stoicism finds not only a path to emotional survival but a route to a life of meaning and purpose. She is the embodiment of serenity amidst chaos. Being a Stoic woman means embracing a set of virtues that reflect in every decision and action, regardless of external circumstances. The wisdom she cultivates is not merely an accumulation of information but the ability to apply knowledge with discernment and humility. She understands that knowing how to act is more important than simply knowing. At the core of her practice is the conviction that what truly matters are her own actions and reactions, as they are the only things under her control. Justice, another essential virtue, is not a vague notion for her but a deep commitment to fairness and righteousness. She not only seeks to treat others with respect but also demands this of herself. The courage she demonstrates is not the absence of fear but the ability to confront it, to look into the eyes of her own insecurities, and to move forward with steadfastness. Finally, temperance balances all these virtues. It helps her avoid extremes, keeping her in a state of moderation that allows her to appreciate life in its entirety without being enslaved by desires or emotions. If you're enjoying this exploration of Stoic philosophy, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insights. The Stoic journey of this woman begins with self-knowledge. She does not settle for going with the flow of circumstances or reacting automatically to difficulties. Instead, she dedicates herself to continuous and sincere self-observation. The practice of reflecting on herself and her actions is essential to staying on the Stoic path. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." For her, this is more than advice, it's a guideline for life. She asks herself fundamental questions. What are my values? What truly matters? What is under my control and what is not? By answering these questions honestly, she finds the clarity and strength needed to make decisions aligned with her principles. This practice of introspection is not a sporadic process but a daily habit. Often, she devotes time to writing her reflections in a journal, where she explores her thoughts and emotions. This writing is a way to organize her mind, understand her reactions, and identify behavior patterns that can be improved. She does not use this exercise to excessively criticize herself, but to develop a more objective and compassionate view of herself. This self-knowledge empowers her to respond with more rationality and less impulsiveness when confronted with challenging situations. Recognizing her own weaknesses is, for her, an act of courage and self-love. Instead of viewing them as permanent flaws, she understands them as areas for growth. Through this understanding, she is able to transform challenges into opportunities to enhance her virtues. The power of acceptance is another hallmark of a Stoic woman. This acceptance is not passive surrender but an active acknowledgement that there are many things in life that are beyond her control. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest exponents of Stoicism, said, "Accept with grace what is given to you by fate, for it is what nature has provided, and that is good." This woman has internalized this wisdom. She understands that fighting against the inevitable is a waste of energy and that true strength lies in knowing when to resist and when to yield. This acceptance allows her to navigate difficult moments with serenity and confidence. When faced with loss, such as the death of a loved one or an opportunity she deeply desired, she does not deny the pain or try to suppress it. Instead, she allows the pain to teach and transform her. She embraces the impermanence of life and understands that every experience, whether of joy or sadness, contributes to her growth. Acceptance, for her, is not synonymous with apathy or indifference. It is the ability to deal with reality honestly and courageously. This stance grants her unwavering resilience and a unique ability to adapt to change. Thus, when adverse circumstances arise, she can remain calm and redirect her energy towards actions within her control, without wasting time or vitality on futile lamentations. If you find value in this discussion, hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Courage for a Stoic woman is the ability to stand firm even in the face of fear or uncertainty. But more than that, it is the capacity to recognize that vulnerability is not synonymous with weakness. A Stoic woman knows that admitting her difficulties, expressing her feelings, and seeking support when necessary are signs of authentic strength. She rejects the notion that she must be impenetrable to be respected. Rather, she allows herself to be true, knowing that it is in this state that true connection with others resides. This makes her a trustworthy friend, a compassionate partner, and a leader who inspires those around her. Her courage is not just a flame that burns in moments of great challenge, but a constancy that sustains her in the details of everyday life. She practices this courage by saying no when necessary, standing up for her values, and dealing with criticism in a serene manner. She confronts fear not as an enemy but as an indication that something important is at stake. And instead of fleeing from this feeling, she uses it as an opportunity for growth. A woman who exemplifies this courage can be a mother who, even in the face of the challenges of raising her children alone, finds the strength to maintain her integrity and teach them the importance of acting with virtue. Her children see in her an example of resilience and learn that being courageous is not about never falling but about always getting back up. A Stoic woman understands that justice is a fundamental principle that goes beyond words and is reflected in her daily actions. She seeks to be just not only to others but also to herself. Justice for her means treating each person according to their intrinsic worth, recognizing the dignity of all, and fighting for what is right, even when it involves personal sacrifices. This woman knows that being just does not mean being complacent or pleasing everyone. It means having the courage to defend what is right, even in the face of criticism or resistance. She practices justice in both small and large acts, from how she treats her colleagues at work to how she raises her children with a sense of responsibility and fairness. At work, for example, she is a leader who recognizes and values her team's efforts. She knows that a fair and collaborative environment is a place where everyone can grow and thrive. Her leadership is not based on authoritarianism but on mutual respect and encouragement for everyone's participation. She acts transparently and is always willing to listen, understand, and consider different viewpoints, as she recognizes that true justice also involves empathy. At home, she teaches her children the importance of being just, showing that it starts with the ability to recognize their own flaws and correct their mistakes. She educates them to see justice as a value to be practiced not only with others but also with themselves, a matter of self-care and integrity. Temperance is the virtue that balances all others and allows the Stoic woman to remain centered amid the pressures of the modern world. In a society that often glorifies excess and impulsivity, the Stoic woman chooses moderation as a way to live in peace with herself and others. She understands that true freedom does not lie in doing everything she wants but in controlling her impulses and acting deliberately and sensibly. This practice of self-control does not mean deprivation but a deep respect for herself and her limits. She knows when to say no to protect her mental, physical, and emotional health and when to say yes to embrace opportunities that align with her values. Temperance helps her maintain a clear and focused mind, avoiding the emotional ups and downs that often accompany the pursuit of momentary satisfaction. She practices this virtue daily, Whether limiting her time on social media to avoid unnecessary comparisons and distractions or controlling her impulsive reactions in heated conversations. Instead of automatically responding to provocation or criticism, she chooses to reflect and respond in a way that aligns with her principles. This capacity for moderation also extends to her consumption habits, where she prefers quality over quantity and makes conscious choices that reflect her values. This does not mean she doesn't know how to enjoy life. On the contrary, she does so more profoundly as each experience is lived with full awareness and gratitude. Moreover, Stoic women who have marked history show us that this philosophy can be lived with firmness and passion. Think of figures like Hipparchia, a philosopher who challenged the norms of her time by marrying crates and pursuing a life of deep thought and intellectual freedom. Or Porcia Catonis, whose loyalty and strength of spirit in times of great political and personal turmoil testify to what it means to live with virtue and determination. These women were not defined by the expectations society had of them but by their convictions and the quest for truth. They proved that Stoic philosophy is not a practice restricted to men but a way of life that transcends gender and inspires anyone to cultivate virtue and resilience. Today, many contemporary women find inspiration in them to live according to their own values and not succumb to external pressures that seek to shape who they should be. They remind us that living with courage, justice, wisdom, and temperance is a continuous challenge but also a path to a full and meaningful life. Being a Stoic woman is not a state to be achieved once and for all. It is a constant practice that requires dedication and intention. Every day she chooses to live according to her convictions, even when it means going against the current. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and let me know in the comments your thoughts on what it means to embody Stoic virtues. Your support helps us continue this journey together.